Because I'm seeing him go to flipping Ajax to watch Jordan Henderson, which I think is crazy. And that's all due respect to Jordan, but brother, your time's done. That's when it gets, and that's when it gets scary, man. That's when you just start saying, boys,
do you know what I'm trying
on
to
your
say?
way back home. Yo, it's your boy HP, like the sauce, Harry Pinero, and of course, Culture Cams.
Yes.
It's been a minute.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what's been happening. Wait, I've been busy, right?
You've been busy.
Yeah. I was away. I had a little trip that I needed to have. Dubai.
Yeah.
First time being there, by the way.
I swear.
Yeah, never been before.
Right, you've been all over the world as well. You ain't been Dubai.
Nah,
I ain't even been Dubai, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I'm not well travelled like you know what I mean?
Oh, don't do that.
I'm not well travelled
Don't
like you.
do that. But I'm sure you guys saw the news. We will be playing in Qatar on the 23rd of February. Charity match with some icons. Obviously, Arsene Wenger has been announced as a manager, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
And we've got another big announcement for the next manager, which we can't say who it is. Cams knows. And it's a madness. So look out for that, and we'll be doing some inside scoop content there. And you might see Cams there. Who knows?
Yeah, let's see, man.
Who knows? Who knows?
Let's see.
But anyway, before we get into the video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because we need those subscribers. And also, I can actually announce that we will be audio based very, very soon.
Nice.
Very, very soon. I'm talking about maybe the next episode. So look out for that, guys.
Yeah.
But Cams.
Firstly, quickly, what do you think about my beanie?
Do you know what?
What do you think? I'm trying a little trendy.
No. The tracksuit for me, first and foremost, good. I like that.
Thank you.
And it suits you. I was going to say, I like the way you put it to the top as well.
Giving it a little air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would say my only constructive criticism is maybe get a bigger one.
Bigger one?
Yeah. Get a bigger one. Yeah. But apart from that, I like that. It does suit you. I know it suits you. I didn't say nothing about it.
Yeah. I was
like, it's normal.
I was waiting.
I didn't say like, what's up, man? What's he on? But shout out Cams on the fashionista thing. Yeah, Paris Fashion Week. Shout him. But so obviously, Cams, this week has been a monumental week for football, especially with results. Yeah. The Liverpool, defeat against Arsenal was something that obviously a lot of people wasn't expecting. Yeah. And there was a lot of talk about Arsenal celebrations, which I had no issue with personally.
Same.
Bro, if you win and you're gonna get relegated and you still like celebrate, it's part of the game, right? But it opened up the Premier League. Yeah. And Manchester City took real advantage of that against Brentford. Now, there's a player who you've been speaking very highly of. You've named him as one of the best players that you've seen in this generation, this new generation of young talent, and that's Phil Foden. Now, Phil Foden's, I literally just watched the goals because I was busy that day, I couldn't watch it. Those were different Phil Foden goals. Headers and how, I don't even have to say how good he is because I know how good he is, yeah. But what's your views on Phil Foden in the role in Man City? He's kind of carried them while Kevin De Bruyne hasn't been there. De Bruyne's back, Haaland's back, and he's still showing how good he is.
Bro, it's a lot of people are going to say it's about time or whatever, but for how I see Phil Foden, I think his development at Man City has been perfect. I think, one, I've mentioned it before, you're playing in a side, where that has KDB, Raheem Sterling, Mahrez, Bernardo, Gundogan. The names are ridiculous, right? It's going to be hard to get into the team. It's going to be hard to be the main man at 20 years old, 21 years old, 19, 18. It's not going to be easy to do that. So there's been a lot of people are kind of desperate to see Foden now, but have this mad season. And I'm like, you got to be patient. The one thing that we've seen with Michael Owen, we've seen with Fabregas maybe, we've seen with even Saka at certain points, people are saying they're tired. They need a break. They need a rest. Foden is well rested, bro. In terms of his development has been managed well. There was a season, I think it was the lockdown season, where he had a really good season. Then again, he kind of got pulled back a little bit. But that's natural when you're the young player in a top level team. It's the natural situation. So for me, when I'm seeing Foden do this now, I'm like, now is when 24, 25, 26, you're starting to approach your prime, is when you understand your game more. It's understand who you are, what you bring to this team. And naturally, Gundogan moves on. Mahrez moves on. KDB's getting older. As teammates, they're going to start looking at you like, now it's you start coming. And Foden has answered that this season. The guy, this season has been, I think he's in the team of the year, personally. I think he'll potentially be one of the players in the Player of the Year conversations. And just what he's doing for Man City, a lot of people are saying, well, they weren't top of the league without Foden, blah, 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 blah. Wait until the big boys come back. Okay, cool. The big boys came back. Haaland and KDB. He said, you know what? 1-0 down. I'm going to give you a hat trick, bro. I'm going to give you a hat trick. So he's showing this season is different, bro. The guy's talent is undoubtable for me. Like, you can't deny the talent that Phil Foden is. But now he's going to be... It's not even about numbers for me, but he wants to put down the numbers.
I was literally going to mention some of the numbers. So he's played 151 Premier League games for Man City, 43 goals, 25 assists. Yep. Young Player of the Year, 2 years in a row from 2021 season and a 21-22 season, 8 goals, 7 assists this season. Now, I could not care nothing about stats, right? But those stats speak numbers because you can see it. Again, we said this year it's all about the eye test. And I've seen Phil Foden take on a different role, be part of he's been an answer for Man City's, like, when it's been difficult for them in certain games, right? I think, like, as fans, because we expect so much from Phil Foden, when we don't see it in games, I think he's judged game by game rather than what he's done for Man City throughout his whole career, right? Do you feel like he now has a chip on his shoulder and he's like answering critics? But then, like you said, do you think it's more of him understanding his game a bit more? Because I think, for me personally, in terms of talent, we haven't seen a Phil Foden in years. We haven't seen anything like this in a while since... I don't want to say the name because you're going to say it. But yeah, I don't think we've seen a talent like this. Do you reckon it's him being... awake now, or is he just answering critics?
But I think, when he saw KDB got injured, don't get me twisted, he's not going to celebrate a KDB injury. But I think this was the moment when he said, wow, okay, I can play in my favourite role. He keeps saying he thinks he's in the middle. He's a player that plays in the middle. And then Haaland gets injured as well. So now it means Alvarez is up top. And then he's in the 10 role. He said, this is my time, bro. This is... How often are you going to get an opportunity where KDB and Haaland injured at the same time? This was his opportunity, and I think he knew that, and he's taken it. So as you're saying, with a chip on the shoulder, in a way, it's like, I need to prove something. And not only that, Euros is coming as well. And the talk around Foden when it comes internationally is, he doesn't perform, blah, 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 blah. I think this year, with the KDB injury, with the Haaland injury, he said he has to take over, and that's what he's doing, bro. Not only, as you said, stats, but, bro, the way he's helping them turn defense into attack, the way he's dribbling, the way he's going past players, the way he's creating. Foden's been everywhere for Man City this season. And listen, as I said, Mahrez leaving, these guys, somebody has to fill the void. And Phil Foden is stepping up to that, man. And to score a hat-trick away at Brentford, by the way. Bro, Brentford is one of them grounds that are tough to go to. Ground. To score 1-0 down and a second-half hat-trick, Yeah, listen, and it was nice to see that it was KDB that assisted him as well, because everyone was talking like, when KDB comes in, that's the end of Foden. Foden's going to be shoved to the wing, goodbye. But he came in and KDB's out there assisting him. So, bro, Foden, listen. So
I believe you're right. Comparison is the thief of joy. But it's something that we do. Because, you look at Phil Foden and you think, you're at the top of this English talent crop for me, in terms of you have everything. I love watching the way he glides on the pitch. I love how intricate his passing is, and he has an eye for goal. Maybe the only criticism is that he could potentially get more goals into his game, but I think that will come. I think, like you're saying, he's defining his game a bit more, right? But like I said, when you compare him to players that have been here before, also the players that are around him right now, we've got the Euros coming up right now, and I think it will be a absolute disaster class for Southgate to not implement him in the squad. Where does he fit in this England team? Do we build an England team around him? And how does he compare to the players that have previously played the game for England? Because we've had a lot of impotence from certain players. We haven't really built the team around them. We've just put them in there and expected them to do well. Is he that type of player we build the team around?
I think you can. But it's going to be hard because you have Jude as well. And you know what Jude is doing. And it really depends on where Southgate sees Jude Bellingham. If Southgate sees Jude Bellingham as a 10, it might be tough for Foden, just because I know how Southgate is, right? If he sees Jude Bellingham as like that box-to-box next to Declan Rice, then Foden can easily slot into the 10 role there. It really... One thing that Southgate does, he watches what you do for your club in terms of your positioning, right? So... if he sees that Foden's playing off the right for City, that's going to be tough for Foden because that's Saka's his guy there. He's going to play, obviously. Now, the left-hand side, the position that Foden can nail down is either the 10 or the left.
But don't you think the left takes away from what Foden is showing us?
I do, because Foden on the left for City is, if he ever occupies them zones or moves to them zones, is not the Foden that you will see for England. The system is different. The freedom is different. The players that you're playing with is different. So the England Foden on the left, I don't know how that's going to work out at all. I want to see him in midfield, bro. I've done my England team. I haven't changed it still. I want Foden in middle with Jude, and I want it with Declan Rice. You know what I mean? That's what I want. Some people are going to say, well, Jude has been playing behind the striker and stuff, but sometimes you do have to adapt your game. It's going to be tough for Foden just because I know how Gareth Southgate is. Just because I know Southgate's looking at Foden like, where do I nail him down when I have a Jude? That's going to be his issue. Saka, you know he's a right winger. No debate. He's a right winger. Declan Rice, you know he's a 6. No debate. He's a 6. But Jude and Foden are two, like, is Jude a 10 or is he a box-to-box? Is Foden a 10 or is he a wide man? Like, it's question marks. Rashford, you know he's a left winger. Jack Grealish is going to play on the left wing. Who else is there? Those are pretty much our options.
Yeah.
They're all set in stone. But Foden and Jude are two kind of play different for club than they do for country. It's going to be hard for him to nail that down. But if he can get that right, I think you have to have Jude Bellingham and Foden on the pitch. You have to. Kane, obviously. You have to have these guys on the pitch. So I don't know. What do you think? What's your vision for it?
Look, where would
you put Foden?
I think I'd agree with what you're saying. You see, for me, I always believe that a player that plays great for his team and you want to replicate it for his country, you got to play them in the same place. And I think Phil Foden is that type of player that in a 10, he's the most devastating. Or he has that free roam to be able to just float out into the wing quickly, could receive the ball, pass it. And I like when Phil Foden is not constricted to just one place, right? And I feel like to give someone like Phil Foden that freedom, a manager has to really trust them. Now, I don't see Phil Foden, when I watch him, be immature with his football. So I think he is that type of player that you can give that trust to, while still giving Jude Bellingham the freedom to be able to roam. Now, the only thing that I would say that probably Southgate will worry about is his defensive work, because he, as much as he is, he will chase you down. That's not what we want to see Phil Foden doing. He's kind of like a luxury player. He needs to have that role. But Jude Bellingham can do both. He can be defensive, but he can also, be attacking as well. I also believe that for Southgate, it is very difficult, the job that he's got right now, because you've got a lot of players right now.
Of players, bro.
That are playing really well. Cole Palmer. You got James Maddison. How do you say no to these players?
It's tough.
So it is very difficult, but I just think that Phil Foden, for me, in terms of talent, in terms of being able to create something out of nothing, there's none better.
That's what I'm saying.
In the league, for England anyway. And I think it all depends on what Southgate wants. Now, if Southgate wants to be, because I'm seeing him go to flipping Ajax to watch Jordan Henderson, which I think is crazy, when there was some amazing football on this weekend and you could have watched some great young English talent, but you've gone to go watch your old pal Jordan Henderson. Now,
that's crazy.
And that's all due respect to Jordan, but brother, your time's done. Your time's done. No, but it should be.
It should be.
Because if you're looking for experience, these players have just done a World Cup. They've also just done a Euro, some of them anyway. It's a different team. The experience is there. They're also playing for top clubs as well. They're not little kids. They know exactly what they're doing, right? Give them their chance. I don't think that but I hope this is just me speaking outside of what is the truth. I hope it is anyway. But so I would play Phil Foden, and then I would have Declan, and I would also have a Jude. But then also having James Maddison there as an option is great. And Cole Palmer, I think,
as an option,
I really do believe that we got to have him somewhere.
Is he going to travel? You can only take 23. England can only take 23. It's actually, when you actually deep the people that are going to have to go, it's tough. Gareth Southgate has to make some tough decisions. Raheem Sterling, I don't think he's going to go. He wasn't calling him up in the last 2. So I think he's
formed dips though for Chelsea as well.
Chelsea are poor. I think he might miss out. Rashford, he's not doing well. Now, is he going to... I think he'll take Rashford.
He will.
He will, because Rashford's still kind of can still be devastating.
And you know what?
Rashford
Last 2 games, Rashford has looked much better than how he's previously, and there's nothing there he's formed that we expect from him.
Yeah.
But he has looked a bit better. He's contributed so much more. But
I'd take Rashford in a tournament. I would take.
Yeah, because Rashford can be exploited. For England, he's a different player.
Jack Grealish only played 12 games this season.
But it's
is he at risk?
But I think Jack Grealish, he's another player that reminds me of what Foden was going through in the beginning of his career.
Absolutely.
Where we know what type of guy Jack Grealish is. Give him the freedom to have fun. That's what Jack Grealish loves, to play football his way. But when you're playing for Pep, the guy who we feel like has ruined football a little piece for us, when you're playing for Pep, it is a system-based thing. Doku's indication of that, where he plays on the left. He goes past players and tries to find square it. That's it. But Doku, when he's playing in France, he's doing a lot. So it's like Jack Grealish can be unlocked if he's given the freedom to. And I'd bring him as well.
I'd bring him, see, but it's hard because, all right, so Saka will be on the right-hand side option.
Yeah.
Definitely. Cole Palmer can be a right-hand side option, but it's just about Woody. This is the thing. We can't have Maddison, Foden, Jude.
But this is the beautiful thing. Look, it reminds me of
like
back in the day, when we had like bare English players like up front. You had Jermaine Defoe, you had Emil Heskey, you had Darius Vassell. Like there's so many strikers that want Darren Bent.
Remember the generation before that had Teddy Sheringham, Shearer, Owen, Robbie Fowler,
come on, man.
Ian Wright.
You can't like it goes down to who you think you trust the most. And if you get it right, you're a great manager. If you don't get it right, what about these man? So
it's a mad tough decision. But don't get twisted, injuries might
God forbid though.
Because for example, he would have had a tough decision with the right backs, but Reece James being injured has pretty much answered his. He doesn't have to worry about that now because James ain't gonna go. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully there's no injuries, but I'm telling you there's gonna be some major dropouts.
I do worry with the fullbacks this year for England though.
Do you?
Well, Ben Chilwell and Luke Shaw with injuries, and then also I think about like Kyle Walker
is having a horrible season.
He is. That's why he wants to dip,
bro. He's having a horror.
So the fullbacks for me is where, and if you asked me about beginning of the season, I would have said that's probably one of our strongest suits is our fullbacks. But this season, I think
John Stones ain't staying.
Kyle Walker and Trent have been the ones.
Yeah, defensively, Stones ain't staying fit. Maguire's not playing games, and he was injured.
Yeah.
Chilwell's injured, as you're saying. Luke Shaw's had injuries.
Is Chilwell back though?
Yeah, Chilwell just came. Chilwell's been back now, but I don't even know if he's going to go. Trippier's having a bad moment. Defensively, it's not looking good for England. I can't lie. So, but these are things though. Why people like Jordan Henderson get back in the team? Why Calvin Phillips get back in the team? Because he's going to look at it and think we need to protect the defense. You got Maguire who's not playing. Stones who's injured. Walker obviously is going through some personal issues and stuff. You don't know how that's going to transpire for him. Trippier is having a poor season. Shaw's been injured. Bro, England defensively, they might be at worry. We might have to start looking at Gay and Dunk and bro. You know what I mean?
That's when it gets, and that's when it gets scary, man. That's when you just start saying, boys,
do you know what I'm trying
on your way back home, man.
I got a question though. I got a question. Is Phil Foden the best talent since Wayne Rooney in English football?
Talent?
Yeah.
If we're talking natural talent, yes, I would say. I don't think like you can look at, again, this is where stats come in. You know, Jude Bellingham has scored so many goals and joint top scorer in La Liga, right? But when I watch Phil Foden, I'm like, this reminds me of a street baller that I couldn't get the ball off back in the day. He reminds me of someone who is effortlessly great at the game. That it's like he's born to be the player that he is. And to play at Man City, which is such a demanding club, and to win all the trophies that he's won, and to be a pivotal part of that team as well. I watched the way Man City play, and I feel like, you know, when he receives the ball, he might not get all the assists, but he's an integral part of their attack. I don't think I've watched a player for a long time that's made me feel like you could be a Spanish player. Now, I don't know, or a Brazilian player, because the flair that he possesses, but then also he's very relentless with the way he plays. I've never seen him give up when he's playing. And I think when I look at the likes of Wayne Rooney, that's what I saw. I saw something. You're different. You ain't like these lot. You're from a different ilk. And that's what I get when I watch Phil Foden. And I remember when I met him at St. George's, and I remember seeing him and just thinking, after I'd watched him for a few games, and I said, I want to take a picture with you because I know where you're going to be. You're going to be a future Hall of Famer. And I believe that playing for Man City, getting that run that he deserves at England will cement him as the best talent that we've seen in our generation. Don't know about best player because
best player is subjective.
It's subjective. But talent is something that I see his talent ID and I'm like, wow. Yeah. You obviously speak very highly about him, but what's your views on Phil Foden? And obviously you've asked that claim because you believe it.
Yes.
You believe it, and I've agreed with you. But explain why you agree.
Bro, you hit the nail on the head, honestly, bro. The way he plays the game, right? The touch, the dribbling, the IQ, the way he goes past players, the way his weight of pass, his eye for goal, just the way he plays football isn't like what we see normally in this country, as you mentioned. You look at him, you can play for Spain, can play for Brazil. Exactly what you said is how I feel about Phil Foden. I think Trent is similar level, in my opinion, in terms of talent. I think Trent and Foden are the two best talents since Rooney. And I look at the best player is obviously Kane. Kane's obviously the best player since Wayne Rooney. That's not a debate. But as a natural talent, listen, I remember Kane was at Leicester on the bench, Norwich on the bench. Like he wasn't like this guy from a young age. I'm talking about natural talent. Phil Foden has exceeded always. Exceeded the England under-17 World Cup. Exceeded when he got to Man City. He's always been this guy. That natural, crazy talent. If you watch a Phil Foden video at 13 and you watch a Phil Foden video at 24,
no difference.
It's no difference, bro. Yeah. It's just this pure footballer, bro. And this term, pure footballer, really.
We're running it back.
It really irks you, but it's the reality. Yeah. If you're talking about pure football, the purest footballer since Wayne Rooney, it is Phil Foden. And as I said, I have Trent next, but it's Phil Foden for me. Like, there's been some top talents. Jude Bellingham is a top talent. He can become. He's probably a better player than Phil Foden at the moment. If you want to say that. Who else has there been? There's been a lot of players. You can talk about Jack Grealish. You can talk about
Raheem Sterling,
John Stones. You can talk about all these type of guys. But as the purest footballer, it's Phil Foden. And the guy defines what, for me, I enjoy about football.
Yeah, and people in the comments and people that's listening, I want you guys to let us know as well, man, via socials, whatever you guys think, because this is just based on the feeling that we get when we watch these players. Like, I believe that, when I was watching Wayne Rooney, I couldn't wait to see what he done next. When I watched like Phil Foden, I never believed that he can't create a chance or create an opportunity or create an opening. And that's what reminds me of Wayne Rooney. Like, as long as he's on the pitch, there's a chance. Yeah. And I think those type of players, they take it upon themselves to find space and find pockets that a normal player wouldn't be able to do.
I think he's going to age. I think his game is going to age very well as well. I remember I was having an argument with
David Silva age?
Oh, David Silva was... Yeah, it could. Because you think Silva at Valencia is a similar kind of situation. He was playing on the left-hand side, came to Man City, played on the left, then eventually he moved into the 10, then he moved into centre midfielder. The reason why I think he's going to age well is because of, as I mentioned, how his development has been. Yeah. Phil Foden's peak might be at 28. It might not be now. He might just be approaching, but his peak could be at 28, 29. That's the type of player.
Do you believe he hasn't hit his peak yet?
No, he hasn't. Yeah. There's no way he hasn't hit his peak. I think.
And in your eyes, what does his peak look like?
One of the best in the world.
Yeah.
One of the best in the world, PFA Player of the Year type level. He should be, I think if Foden doesn't win a Player of the Year, he should be disappointed. Yeah. He should win a Player of the Year in the Premier League. Definitely. Like, he's got 5 Premier Leagues already. Like, now all he's doing now is trying to have an individual madness now. He's got accolades. He's got a treble. All he has to do now is just, how do I become a legend? Yeah. It's a great platform to be in if you're a motivated man. Unless he just decides to put his feet up and say, I'm done with my career.
I don't see that in him, I think he genuinely loves playing football. Yeah,
but I heard his dad is a red. Sir Jim, what you got
Cole Palmer's a red as well. Yeah, Ineos. Wembley of the North. Listen, Wembley of the North.
Put the word in, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I heard about that. That'll be lit.
Speaking of Wembley of the North, Rasmus Hojlund, the first. Now, the streets are saying, since Culture Cams and Harry Pinero linked up with Ericsson and Rasmus Hojlund, things have changed. Now, you guys, if you've been here from the beginning, you know I was the one that brokered the deal. And if you've been here from recent, you saw the picture when me and Culture Cams was at Old Trafford. You lot thought we was there for work. No, we was not. We was there to infiltrate. We was there to see what's happening behind the scenes. Yep. And we had a little conversation with him.
We had a few words.
God strike me down if I'm lying. But Rasmus Hojlund. Now, he's probably had one of the most difficult starts to any season, especially because when you're playing for Manchester United and we're not playing well, it is even more heightened, the amount of criticism that you get.
Sure.
People are, there was songs being made from him. Memes. Yeah. Cool. You can do it, Hojlund.
Bro, that guy needs to go home now.
No, he needs to get out of it, man. I'll be honest. I saw him the other day outside the game trying to... Hojlund just did the right thing, bro. Walk away, man. You know what I mean? But, yeah, the criticism for a young 21-year-old striker who we, initially people were like, oh, he's only scored 9 goals and so on and so forth. But we saw the IQ of this man, and we've seen him in the Champions League that he can score. He's now got, 10 goals now.
4 in the Prem, 10 in all comps.
That's 10. Obviously, we expected way more.
Yeah.
But in terms of now what you've seen, what do you think about Rasmus Hojlund that you didn't think before?
I haven't wavered.
Yeah.
I haven't wavered on Hojlund. I think from what we said in the start of the season, good player. He's gonna have struggles because one, you're coming into a Man United team that don't create the most chances. We're struggling, by the way.
Yeah.
Can people remember that? Like after Hojlund, we got guys on 7, Rasmus on 4. It's not like we're all firing on all cylinders and Hojlund is lacking behind. Hojlund's our top goal scorer in all competitions. So he's just matched his tally of last year. He scored 10 in all comps for Atalanta, and he's got 10 right now for Man United. So. Listen, I know it sounds like meaty development, but he's hit his milestone of last season already. So now what I want to see is, can you get us 7, 8 more goals this season? If you end the season on 17 to 18 goals this season in your first year, that's decent. Yeah, I mean, I want to see double figures in Prem. Can he get, how many games have we played? 23 games or something like that?
It's achievable.
Can he get us 7 more goals?
Yeah.
Can he get us 7 more goals at least in the Prem? That would be really nice. We still can go on an FA Cup run as well. Look, Hojlund has gone through a tough situation, man. The Man United it's been hell this season. It's been a very tough season. He's been isolated up there. He didn't play as a lone striker before. He's now having to play as a lone striker. He's battling against full defenders. The one thing I had with my criticism of him was he gets way too physically involved with defenders. And in the Prem, they love it. Girl, come, you want to have a fight? We'll fight you all game. Beautiful. But now I'm seeing him trying to evade a little bit more. He's trying to use his mind a little more. He's dropping in a little bit more, passing it wide, running into the box. And we ain't seen the best of him. In transition, Hojlund is a problem. And we saw that in that game at Old Trafford as well. We've seen a few moments, in the Champions League, we've seen a few moments where if he starts galloping, he's going to get proper full head of steam, he's a problem. And we ain't even been able to see that yet. We're still kind of using him in a poacher kind of mode. But when his confidence starts to grow, we're going to see a good player. I think we got a gem here, man. Now, I'm not going to start saying we got Erling Haaland, but we've got a gem, bro. 4 Premier League goals doesn't sound the greatest, but when you look at the context of our season, hopefully it ends strong, man. I've not wavered on this guy. I think this guy's going to be a good striker for Man United.
Yeah, I think I agree exactly with everything you just said. I think with Hojlund, the talent is something that's undeniable. We've seen it in moments. I think we just wanted consistency from him. But again, like I said, he's young, 21, first season in the Premier League, very difficult. I think he, probably thought to himself, watched the game and thought, I need to be more physical. But you have something that a lot of players don't have, which is pace
and natural physique.
And natural finishing, we've seen the way his previous goal where he scored on his right foot. That was such a great finish as well.
That's confidence.
Even a goal against Tottenham, to just be able to be instinctive with your finishing. So we know exactly what the player can do, and I think I agree. I don't think we've given him the greatest service, but then also I feel like he's maturing game by game,
development,
with the way he is as well. And I think if Man United had a more creative style of playing and more chances were given to him, like what Nunes has so many chances, but he creates some of those chances for himself as well with his movement. So I think he could even watch a Nunes and be like, look, Nunes has struggled a little bit, but he actually gets chances. I feel like I'm a better finisher than him. I think if I had those chances, I would have bagged. So his time will come as well. I think with our little 3 that we've got right now,
that little picture,
is something that I really enjoyed seeing, and I don't care what it comes with and the connotations. I've seen people put, next to the Holy Trinity of Lord Charlton.
They've got a long way to go for that.
Yeah, that's a long way to go. But with those 3 right now, I think besides Kobe Mainoo, because Kobe Mainoo is moving like he's 46. And he's been playing the game for many years. But Garnacho is another player who I believe that has to do a bit more maturing. His game is a bit raw, but you can see that the desire is there for all three of those players, right? I believe, this is my view, we need to mix great experience with these young players. Because what I feel like we need to have players that are already at their prime or approaching their prime, and have these young players who are not going to take away from what these players have. Now, my issue is with Man United is that the players that we have, the Bruno Fernandezes, like, I don't think they complement having a Kobe Mainoo in the team. I don't think so. I don't think Kobe Mainoo can benefit from having Bruno in the team. I think that we've seen it how it works when Casemiro's in the team. Because when Casemiro's in the team, the dirty work is getting done for him, and it's allowing Kobe to be the player that we believe that he can be in it. What type of team do you think Man United need to build for Rasmus to be able to thrive, or for Garnacho to be able to be the player that we think he can be, and Kobe to excel to the heights that we know and we believe that he can get to?
As you mentioned, bro, experience. Sign players that are primed. Sign players that are experienced. Sign players that are like, they see Man United as the next step. Do you know what I mean? As the next step. That's the next step of their development, of their potential achievements in their career. That's the type of players that we need to sign. 24, 25, 26. A lot of time people want to sign 20-year-olds all the time, 18-year-olds. But the thing is that we did this with Marcus Rashford and Martial. You don't want to put over-reliance on these guys. We said, let's be honest, let's keep it 100. We laugh at Martial now. The guy was a super talent, bro. Like, look at all these talents coming up now. Martial, as a 19-year-old, levels with all these men, you know, if we keep it 100. But injuries, whatever, maybe some wrong signing maybe Lukaku, Zlatan in front of them might have harmed them. I think Zlatan was fine, but Lukaku, that was a debatable at the time of the signing. Alexis Sanchez, you're harming them in that way. What you need to do is sign players that, you know, Kobe, you're going to be a starter. Garnacho, let's as well, maybe you're going to be a starter. Hojlund, you're going to be a starter, but we're going to put this around you. We're going to put that around you. We're going to complement you so your development can go here and that way. That's what you need to do. Rashford, we ran him into the ground. Now we're looking at him like, are you at the crossroads or are you just going for a bad season? We don't know what's going on. Martial, look at what's happened. You know what I mean? We've done this before where we have these young players and we have not developed them properly. We have not. Look at Paul Pogba. He left, he came back. Did we put a great side around him? Did we build a side that Pogba should really thrive in? No, we didn't. As much as I criticize him, we didn't help either. There's two sides to everything. We didn't do it with him. So we don't want to make this mistake with Kobe Mainoo, with Garnacho, with Hojlund. One thing, that Man United, we always have, Carrington always kind of saves us eventually. Like, every time we're going through a bad moment, it's like an academy player just spawns in and makes us all happy. We all love Carrington. We all love seeing academy players shine. But at the same time, it can very quickly go from, oh, he's only playing because he came from Carrington. Oh, that's what happened with Rashford. Oh, him and McTominay, they're only playing because... But let's be honest, they were the ones that were injecting some form of fight into our team. They were the ones that were really actually making us like, all right, at least we can do something right now. So I think when you look at them three that you're talking about, I know Hojlund's not from Carrington, but you look at them three, they're breathing a fresh air into the team, and we need to continue building on that. And of course, we don't know what the season's going to look like next year because we're going to probably make signings, we're going to make sales. But what you said in terms of signing experience and prime players is what we need to do. Don't kill these guys. Help them, bro. Help them. And look, Kobe Mainoo, bro, he makes me want to go and watch he makes me want to watch Man United. Garnacho, and listen, I've been on record as saying Garnacho's not a great player to me, but bro, I can't fault the guy, bro. I'm not faulting it. I'm not looking for him to fail or nothing. I'm buzzing when he does well because he wants it, bro. I like his mentality. He wants it. He wants to go out there and perform. He's been much better on the right-hand side. I think he's a right winger. I don't think he's a left winger, personally. I think he's a right winger. And if he continues, who knows? The sky's the limit, man. I'm happy for them three. Now Rashford, get involved. Now Casemiro, get involved. Shaw, get involved. It's such a shame for Licha.
Broke my heart, man. Broke my heart.
Hey.
He's turning up.
Dallo.
I'll say it. We bucked him.
Yeah, Dallo.
What did I say to him?
You said you've been playing well, innit?
Bro, I give flowers, and look, this is the thing, when you support a club like Man United, as much as you have respect for the players, you got to be honest.
100%.
And if a player isn't playing at his best level and you know he can, call him out. But at the same time, when he's playing well, give him his praise.
Yeah.
I think these players understand what it's like to be a Manchester United fan. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, that's how it goes. You play for one of the biggest clubs in world football. So, of course, Dalot has been such a better player over the last few weeks, right? And that's the thing with Man United. We have periods. This is what we need, consistency.
Fact.
I can honestly say having Littra back in the team, Casemiro back in the team, has helped us play a bit more better. Now he's back out of the team. We'll see how we play. It might have to be a Johnny Evans situation again.
Yeah, I think
or Maguire. Maguire weren't bad the other day, though.
Maguire, if we keep it 100, under Ten Hag, okay, we had that Sevilla howler last season, but under Ten Hag, he's been steady.
Yeah.
He's been steady. I think first season under Oli, he was good. Then for me, it started sliding. But I think under Ten Hag, he's been steady. He hasn't been a bad centre-half.
Yeah.
We have to move him on. Because it's a big name that's just sitting on the bench and stuff. Not captain of England, but vice captain, blah, blah, blah. He's probably going to have to move on. But he's been steady. He's not Litcha, but I can't really fault him. Do you know what I'm trying to say, Maguire? But let's see, man. Litcha came in, helped us with our build-up. It was looking like, a few results. Could we get back into the top 4 picture? Let's see what we can do now. Shaw's back at least, and I guess that benefits the team. So let's see, man.
Before we wrap up, I want you to, it's a new year. We might as well just do it. Who do you reckon is going to win the league?
City.
Are you set in sail to say it's City? There's not even there's no other team that's making you think, you know what, things are going to change. Because at one stage, I remember when we did this last year, I said maybe Arsenal because of the way they was dogging results and so on and so forth. But I don't know, but then they beat Liverpool, so things have changed right now. But you still go with City.
City.
What is it about City that's different to Liverpool and Arsenal?
Best players, best squad, best manager, bro. Experience. What are they lacking in that department? I don't think it'd been vintage City, but they know in these moments what it takes, bro. They know what it takes. 4 in a row is potentially on the cards. First ever Premier League team to do it. Have they ever shirked away from history?
Nah.
Every record that needed to be achieved, Pep Guardiola has never fell at the final hurdle. He gets it done. What we need a treble, I'm going to get it done. 3-peat, I'm going to get it done. First treble in Spain, I'm going to get it done, bro. He hasn't really wavered when history is on the door. You know what I mean? Like people were saying last season, Man United are just going to do that bookie feat and beat them in the FA Cup final and stop it. Nah, when it's time to make history, they do it. I look at Arsenal. Arsenal have been good this season. They've been not as good as they were last season, but they've been good. They got some players to come back. But the fact that Man City went away to the Club World Cup, came back above Arsenal, within reach of Liverpool, and now are a game in hand away from going top. When Haaland has been gone for how long? He's still top scorer in the Prem. KDB was gone for how long? Come on, you're bringing John Stones is on the bench now, warming back up. You're bringing 3 of the best players in the league back for a title race in the crunch time. Foden, Alvarez, you man were holding down the fort. KDB's back, Haaland's back, Stones back. Is that all right? His championship season, bro. His champion, and then bro, I can't see anything but Man City.
All I'll say is I agree. But I will say Szoboszlai being injured and Mohamed Salah not being in the Liverpool team.
That was a big loss.
It's a big loss. So the season's still long. I still, I've changed my tune so many times, and this is what I like about having these conversations every 2-3 months. But I'm gonna say City, but Liverpool are there.
You don't think Arsenal?
I think with Arsenal,
Arsenal's solid.
They are, but I just always think that they have that element of bottling. I'm not saying they're not a great team. I think they really are. I think this is one of the best Arsenal teams I've seen since they've last won the Premier League. But I just believe that with the fact of their goal scoring exports, come from so many different players, there isn't a consistency from who is going to be the guy or the guys that are going to keep you scoring.
And it's new to them as well. Champions League coming, they're gonna have to switch on to Man City mode of
they've got
every single football match has to be won. Can Arsenal win 10 in a row while winning their Champions League fixtures? And that's where I'm like, maybe you're gonna struggle there. Young players and stuff. City have experience.
I believe they need to use Trossard more.
I agree too.
Trossard and Martinelli. I like that 60 minutes of Martinelli 30 minutes of Trossard because I've seen it happen many times this season. It unlocks some sort of like...
It's a finisher, man.
Yeah, it's like a cold blow in it. But anyway, boys and girls, and anyone that's watching, thank you for listening today and also to watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, please, guys. Like I said, we will be available on audio platforms very, very soon. So you guys that like driving and going to the gym and listening and stuff, we got you guys. And please let us know in the comments, man, your views on what we say. Let us know, man, how you feel about the Phil Foden conversation. Let us know your England team. Let us know if you think Man City are going to win it, or Liverpool, or even Arsenal are going to win it. And yeah, we'll see you again soon, guys. Peace.